Hey, Nate again, and talking about the Lattice tool one more time and how I use it to do some weird tasks you might not use the Lattice tool for. So Javier Perez pointed out that you can get the same shape that I made in the last video without using the Lattice tool much faster by just using Mesh Mirror Cut. And what that'll do is it's basically just mirroring one side to another, and you can actually move this around. So this is really convenient. In a lot of ways it's much faster, much better than using the Lattice tool to create a corner piece. So I encourage you to check that out. But since we're talking about the Lattice tool, and that's one thing you can do with it, I just wanted to show you something else you could do with it. So if you have a shape here, let's say something weird, something like this. So I've got an angle going on here, and just some corners, some bevels, and some random widths on here. So say you're trying to fit one shape that you've already made, and let's say it's a weird shape like this. Nothing that great, just something interesting so we can see some deformities in here. And you need to fit this inside of this sort of pocket here. Well, we can try to do that a lot of ways. We can snap our points, meet them up here, and we can try to scale it and hope it fits. We can smash one side down. This is a bunch of weird work, and we don't need to do any of that. So again, something we can use the Lattice tool for. I can just pin one corner in here. So isolating this, I'll just select vertices, and I'll just select the entire section right here. And I can put a lattice on that. So I'll do that. I have a 2x2 lattice and hop out of isolation mode so we can see it. So I'll do the same thing that we did last time. I want to line this lattice up to fit the shape that we're trying to get everything inside of. So real quick, before I lattice just that section, I'm going to put a lattice on the entire thing, and I'll use the lattice points to snap to the top so that our scale fits correctly, and I'll delete my history. And then I want to match this angle, so I'll just select verts, and I'll grab this section, and I'll use a lattice here, grab these verts and just pin them to that point, grab the bottom verts, pin them to our other side here. You can see our whole shape is deformed to fit that object. I can delete my history here, and then we can do the same thing over here. Let's pop this whole thing out a bit. Yep, so we fit onto that corner. And now I want to do the same thing here. So I'll take these verts that make up this front side face, and we can just line that up. Don't need the lattice for that. But then we need to get this to fit back into that wall. So I will grab the end cap here, and here, and here, and I'll use a lattice to fit that. So I'll go to my lattice points, pin them just to this edge. So now that fits in there. We got a weird deformity going on there, but it fits the shape, and that was our goal. And it looks like everything else matches up. So the back of this we can move in. Let's see, delete our history, and let's get that back side to match up. So we'll just switch the verts one more time, select all of this, and what's nice is that by using the lattice we're going to maintain the component spacing. So now I can just shift this right there, and we have our deformed shape that fits. Now, one of those times I was grabbing the verts, you can see I forgot to grab all the verts. I just misclicked here, and this fell back. In newer Mayas, you could make a face selection of this, like so, and you can just pin your locator and scale to flatten it out. In older versions, they don't have that prevent inverse scaling option. So rather than eyeball it, again, I can just convert this to verts and use the lattice, grab these points, and say I'm with an older version of Maya. I can just pin these back to any base there, and then I know it's perfectly flat because I've compacted it into itself. So, a few weird ways to use Lattice.